A very warm welcome and good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us of the second installment of the Power Up webinar series brought to you by Eastern Credit Union, simply entitled Entrepreneurship, How Do I Start? My name is Jamal Lewis, Public Relations Officer at Eastern Credit Union, and it is my absolute pleasure to introduce or to reintroduce to you our facilitator this evening's session, Mr. Jaysen Francis. Mr. Francis, good afternoon and welcome. I trust that everything is okay with you, sir.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me again. Despite the new restrictions on the lockdown, I'm perfectly fine.
You're perfectly fine. Fantastic. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear that. So let's just get right into it, Mr. Francis. With your vast knowledge and experience in the field, what are some of the things or some of the concepts that we can expect to hear from you or even learn about in this session? One thing that really stood out for me last week was the difference between the intra and the entrepreneur. So what else can we learn about or from you with this session?
Yeah, so for this particular session, I like to really focus on three areas: knowledge, mindset, and skill set. Knowledge would be like the fundamentals of business, so anything with marketing, HR, communications, anything to help a business running. Mindset would be for us to understand in depth what an entrepreneur is. And of course, skill set would be for you to take away those practical elements of entrepreneurship that you could implement immediately and have a business running and start to see progress.
Fantastic. So in a nutshell, that is what we can look forward to and learn and really understand the concept behind all of that. So that's the goal, that's the focus, that's the aim.
Yes, that's the goal.
Okay, so just a little reminder to all our participants that these sessions are very much interactive. How are you able to interact with the presenter, you may ask? Well, it's pretty simple. In the dialog box to your right, you will see there's a question column, sorry. Just click on that and you'll be able to type in your question. There may be times during the session where we will want a verbal contribution from you, and if you are so desirous, please raise your hand, electronically of course, and your mic will be unmuted and you will be allowed to make your contribution. Also, on that same control panel to your right, you will see in the handout section, we have 4 handouts there. We have the bio of Mr. Francis, we have the entrepreneurship, PowerPoint presentation, a unique selling proposition canvas, and also there's a document on the webinar series that you will be able to use as a guidebook to follow as Mr. Francis takes you through the session. A post-webinar survey will also be sent to you upon the completion of this session, which we are kindly asking you to fill out and put in your comments to help us improve on these webinar sessions and even give us some ideas of more webinar sessions that we can have in the future. So without further ado, I will now turn you over to Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis, we had some homework to do, not so?
Yes, we had a few takeaway assignments.
Yes.
It was just for persons who was on the last session to complete a personal SWOT analysis and a personal mission and vision statement of yourself. All right. You would see how it applies for this session. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. I trust everybody is having a safe Thursday afternoon. And wherever you might be across Trinidad or the Caribbean, because I know we had some folks from outside of Trinidad and Tobago on our last session. What I'll ask everybody to do just for us, because we're so separated by time and space and distance, we're not getting to have those social interactions. I remember I went to the Eastern Credit Union workshop already, and we were all in one space. It's just like probably January last year on blogging, and we were all in one space and we were able to communicate and interact. So I'm just going to try a quick activity just for all of us to kind of be at the same time, at the same place, online, virtually. If you could just go to your chat box, and wherever you are in Trinidad or across the Caribbean, if you could just type in your location. If you're from Port of Spain, if you're from Arima, if you're from Chaguanas, just right now, just see where you're from. So we can just be in the same element in terms of time and space. All right.
I like this. I like this, Mr. Francis. I'm almost feeling like if I'm in a fete and it's roll call. Anybody from Trinidad?
Oh,
But from Arima. Yeah,
right.
nice way to start.
Yeah,
I see. You see, look, Arima in the house, boy. Very
all right,
good.
Mr. Arima, St. James. All right. Marabella, nice to see y'all. Right. So we know where y'all are coming from. We know where y'all are tuning in from. Right. All of us
Tobago is in the
one
house.
energy, one time, one space. Pardon?
Tobago is in the house. Mount St.
Tobago.
George, Tobago. Yes,
Awesome.
lovely.
All right. So just want to thank all of you for coming on this session, and we're gonna dive right in. Okay. So about to share my screen.
Actually, you took it off, you know, your screen was up all the
Yeah,
time.
and I realize. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
good.
right. Excellent. All right. So for today's session, we're really gonna look at business planning. All right. And normally I like a quick generator activity. Whenever we get into business planning, it's all about understanding creativity and innovation. So we're gonna do a quick brain buster. All right. We have two pictures on the screen here. One is of a smartphone. The next one is of persons who are in the medical field. All right. As entrepreneurs, we need to think and come up with solutions and ideas off the top of our heads, right? People look for us for those type of quick wins, those type of responsibilities. As you'll remember from the last session, we looked at what really was the definition of entrepreneurship, and it was about being creative and innovative, being problem solvers, being analytical thinkers to come up with ideas and solutions. All right. Hello? Oh, somebody's mic. Okay. So we're going to do a quick 2 minutes business idea generator. All right. So we're going to merge two products or services to create one business idea. The goal is to be as creative and innovative as possible and think outside the box. The thing about entrepreneurship is that the craziest ideas always happen to work. I want you to be as crazy as possible. All right. I know some of you would have ideas and you would come up, you would see a particular business idea and say, hey, I could do it better if probably a smartphone app was involved, or I could utilize technology to make it more convenient, much faster, much more user friendly. All right. So I want you to think outside the box on how you could merge a smartphone with the medical service. All right. Tell me, what is your product or service? Who is your customer? Right? And this I would allow you all to unmute your mics. All right. And you just like at least one or two persons to share their ideas. All right. How will you attract this customer, and how much will it cost? How much will you charge for this particular product or service? All right. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And you have no wrong answers. Everything is just within your own capacity as an entrepreneur. All right. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. It starts now. Just come up with any simple, creative idea on how you're going to merge a smartphone with the medical industry.
And this could actually be very helpful with this whole new COVID thing. You know?
Correct.
Yeah.
And we've seen how there's contact tracing apps, and I saw recently online there was They're going to use smartphones to determine if you're COVID positive. I don't know how, but leave that to those scientists.
Chip.
All right, guys, just about 1 more minute again.
I'm really looking forward to hear some of the responses.
And we can have basically anything.
All right, coming in. I don't know if this person would like to. Oh, no problem, no problem. And you see, this is what we're talking about here, being accessible to our members. Look at where this member is, Mr. Francis, and still tuning in to the webinar to get the information.
Where?
She's in a hair salon.
Oh, in a hair salon.
So, MedAssist online medical diagnostic service with follow-up for physical assistance where needed. Customers are anyone with smartphones, living in remote regions, or persons with disabilities. Yes. Attract via online marketing. Cost would be app and resource medical personnel and equipment. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
What do you have to say in response to that, Mr. Frank?
I'm actually not seeing that person, but I like the idea. I like how
You have it popped out in the question pane. You have it popped out there.
Question.
In the question pane, did you undock it?
Yeah. Go here. Oh, yeah. I know it. This one,
okay,
right?
You got it?
Yes.
All right, great.
Online medical diagnostic service, which follows up physical assistance when needed. Customers are now to smartphones living in remote. That's good. Remote regions for persons with disabilities. All right. I like how we touch on a lot of different demographics and also geographics. He looked at persons in remote areas and also disabilities. So we already see who his customers were. All right. Physical assistance, right? Those are things, and he actually solved a huge problem. So there's a quote: persons who solve the biggest problem makes the most money. So physical assistance is very hard to access in rural areas and for persons with disabilities. So that's a huge market there, and this is a really good idea. So I like how we merge it too. And that was Elisha Sanka. Elisha. Okay. Elisha.
Yeah, Miss Elisha Sanka. She's actually
awesome.
one of the members on the board on one of our committees of Eastern Credit Union. So Ms. Sanka, welcome and good evening. Thank you for participating.
All right.
Well,
See next
look by your hair.
Camila Gooding, quick launch button that links your medical history to your and any medical staff, nurse. Ooh, I love these ideas. Now, you know what these ideas need? It's how we're going to bring these ideas to life. And how we plan to bring these ideas to life is having an excellent business model and a business plan. All right, so today's session, we're really going to dive into how you could bring these ideas to life. How could you get these ideas on paper? How to create a roadmap for success that you could follow, and in case you choose to hand over the business, for succession planning, how others are going to follow your success. All right, so we're going to continue. So thank you for all your really innovative and creative ideas by merging those two. So what is a business plan? So a business plan is a formal written document containing the goals of a business, the methods for attaining these goals, and the time frame for the achievement of the business. So I have a couple of words highlighted there. One would be a formal written document. Of course, you don't want to just hand in any, this is a representation of yourself, right? Basically, investors want to see your business idea, any sort of partners, stakeholders, they want to hear what your business is going to be. And for them to take you seriously, you want to have it at least typed up and written to the best possible capacity. All right, containing goals for the business, of course. It's a roadmap to success. You want to have, and any sort of roadmap, there's always an end goal. So where you want to see a business in at least 3 to 5 years. It's always good to have some sort of projections for 3 to 5 years, and you could always revisit your business plan and have future goals for another 3 to 5 years. The methods for attaining these goals, methods would be your strategies. So your marketing strategy. What sort of strategies are we going to use to attract persons to our product or services, right? What is our communication strategy? What sort of mediums are we going to use to reach a particular audience? And the time frame, right? A goal without a time, a date is just a wish. So if we don't set time to a goal, then we're not really working towards a particular end goal or a particular date. So always set time frames, right? I love to work with time frames. Any sort of activity, I always would say, okay, well, give me a time frame. Are we on for next week, Wednesday, next week, Thursday? Always set time frames, okay? So that's a business plan. What is the purpose of a business plan? I kind of went into a few reasons why people get into business planning. One is definitely a roadmap for you to follow and for the organization to follow. The thing about business, you want everyone in your business on the same page. You want everyone having the same sort of momentum, the same sort of purpose, the same sort of energy, working together to push an organization and a business forward. Sometimes you would see someone who doesn't even own the business, but they are hired by the business promoting a particular business. That's when you know you have a really good business plan with an organizational culture and an organizational ethic that flows throughout your business. All right, creating an effective strategy for growth. Of course, we want to see progress. We want to see profits. We want to see revenue flowing throughout our business. So an effective strategy for growth. It helps determine your financial needs. So along your financial projections, your cash flows, your income statements, you are then able to understand what are the financial needs to run my business. How much money am I earning every month, every year? How much money do I need to reinvest into my business, and how much money could I eventually pay myself as an entrepreneur? So it helps us to understand our financial needs. It also helps us to attract investors, venture capitalists, angel investors, bank loans, loans in general to help start small businesses. A lot of entrepreneurs, when they're going to approach investors for loans, they work with a business plan. Why? Because the investor wants to see some sort of work done. They want to see, is it possible for you to give me my return on investment that we've just injected into your business, into your company? All right, and they would also want to see how you plan to reach the audience. They want to see some sort of activity. They want to see the work that's going to take to give them back their ROI, which is their return on their investment. All right, and of course, for succession planning, when you choose to hand over this business, because as an entrepreneur, come on, let's be real. You might want to be like, I pronounce the name right, Elisha, who's doing it here. You want to be that kind of entrepreneur eventually. Today's Thursday evening. You're in a restaurant. You don't want to be in a restaurant on a Thursday evening. You want to be in the hair salon because tomorrow is Friday and weekend coming up. You might have a little somewhere. You might want to go to a little private home game night or something like that with a few friends and family, of course, within the 5-person limit. And, you know, You don't want to be in your business all the time. As an entrepreneur, you've worked, you've invested, you've built your business. Time to pass on and time to have somebody follow that business plan, that roadmap to success. So those are the those are the purposes of a business plan. All right. A business roadmap to create an effective strategy for growth, determine your financial needs, attract investors, stakeholders, partners, and of course, for succession planning, how you plan to pass on your business. Some advantages and disadvantages. Of course, again, helps a business get a bank loan, helps keep a business organized, allows success to be monitored and improvements made along the way. And it helps for a business to have plans for contingencies in the future. Right, I'm just going to kind of browse through the advantages and disadvantages because I want us to actually get to the meat where we're actually building these business plans. All right. Some disadvantages: lack of experience. People starting a business may not have the required skills to plan. So a disadvantage might be someone who is now starting a business might not know about a particular marketing strategy, SWOT analysis. They might not know how to construct a business, and it would be hard for them to understand how to create a business plan. All right. Uncertainties, not always easy to look ahead and predict what is going to happen in the market. That's why we have people who are consultants and understand and see trends in the market before it happens. All right. And of course, a business plan can kind of be like a straitjacket at times. Some people just always stay. This method has worked. This is our business model for years. We're not changing. We're not getting into anything else. It might hold them into a constraint that they might not think to look outside the box. So persons, you're with your amazing ideas, your creative and innovative ideas a while ago, understanding how to merge technology and medical assistance. Some people might just be in the medical field and say, well, you still need to go to the hospital, right? Forget that smartphone thing. That's not within our business model. It's not going to work. All right. But we need to be constantly innovative and creative. Moving along. All right, good. So the components of a business plan. So first is and this is for a very simple business plan. I've done some business plan with students before, and it's 15, 30, 60 pages long research and analysis on a particular market and industry. And this is basically a very simple business plan that you could take to any investor, any financial institution, if you want to start up a business. All right. So we're going to look at cover page, an executive summary. I'm going to get into what these things are and how you could create them and how to build them to the best of your ability. So a cover page, executive summary, business background, market research, cash flow projections, and supporting documents, which would go in your appendix. So our cover page. And this is the part of entrepreneurship, which is remember we're saying we're merging skill set, mindset, and knowledge. So you get any knowledge, and then I'm going to show you all how to apply knowledge through skill set. All right. So I'm going to show you how you could create your cover page within minutes and what apps I use as well as an entrepreneur. So a cover page is basically or a title page of a business plan. Is the page at or near the front, which displays its title, subtitle, name, the name of the business owner, business name, and contact information. And this serves as a representation of the business. So this is the first thing that an investor is going to see that represents you as an entrepreneur. So you don't want to present any old thing. You don't want to have a wrinkled up piece of paper that is sticky into the front, it's all ramful. It's not a good representation to take you seriously as an entrepreneur from the investor's point of view. You also don't want to have it handwritten. So you have all the documents typed up, and the morning that you're going to drop it off to the investor, and say, oh, I didn't put in my cover page. Let me just write something and draw something to the front. All right? No, this is a representation of you. No spilled coffee. Don't make it look as neat and professional as possible. All right? This is the first thing that the investor would see. So I've actually seen some investors go through business plans before, and the cover page sells it all. They would basically set the pile like this. One set, they say, this isn't looking good. This looks good. This person isn't looking good. So it's basically a representation of you and your business. All right. We're going to get into our handout in a bit, but I just want to show you all how you could build a cover page, right? So we have 3 apps that I've used as an entrepreneur, right? I had to basically learn how to do a lot of things for myself as an entrepreneur. And one was definitely finding those applications online that were resourceful, that I could use free, of course, to build my cover page, my marketing flyers, my social media flyers, everything like that. One was definitely Canva. It's an application and website that you could use free. There are a lot of free templates that you could use, and it's all about dragging pictures in and putting it together to your own liking. I'll show you that because that's my favorite one. You also have access to a lot of photos, stock photos, high quality stock photos that would be captivating and catching to your target market's eyes. All right. We have edit.org, and then we have Adobe. All right. But I really enjoy using Canva when I just started entrepreneurship. All right. And I'm going to show you exactly what Canva is. All right. And you could take note of Canva as well. Canva. Excellent. All right. So Canva is a really good tool. Basically, you come on, you create your profile, you log in, and you could search any particular type of template. I'm going to search cover page templates. All right, I'll search for a business plan. Right, and we have so many that comes up. Right, so and most of them are free to use. Okay, and it's all about just taking the pictures in, dragging it in, and making that particular cover page for your business idea. All right. So for those of you who didn't know about Canva, now you know, and it's absolutely free. And you can do basically anything on it. If I go back to home page, again, I was going to touch on this for your marketing point of view. You could go here, create your logos, posters, anything you want to do for your particular flyers, anything, presentations, pitch decks, anything you want to do for your particular business idea. All right, so back to our presentation. So that's for our cover page. All right, I'm giving you a little nuggets as well, how to get around and navigate as entrepreneurs, because you don't want to pay somebody a whole lot of money to do a flyer for you. I know some of these graphic artists, they're charging you $500 to do a flyer, charging you $500 to do a piece of art, when you could do it for yourself as an entrepreneur who's just started. All right. So next we have our, so before we go into our cover page, I would just like everyone to turn to their, let's see if I can find it, their handouts. So we're going to go to handouts, and you would see webinar series. If you see like that. choices. Right, look at here, open file. All right. So in your webinar series, right, we have our first part, which is our cover page. All right. And it'll tell you exactly what information to put into your cover page. All right. This is basically your workbook, so you can put your name and your business, the idea of your business name to the front as well. So for your cover page, things that investors are looking to see and what would really help your business plan to stand out and really look professional would definitely be having your business name, the address of your business. If you don't have an address for your business, then you could use your home address until you've gotten a particular space to run your business, and then a contact phone number. You want to have that information there in case the investor wants to contact you. Last thing you would want is not to have a way for the investor to contact you. That's the last thing. They like your business idea, but usually there's no way to contact this particular individual. All right. The day the plan was prepared, you could incorporate some sort of confidentiality statement, right? So this idea stays between you and the investor, the owner's name, and any picture concerning the nature of the business. All these things really captivate and draw the investor deeper in wanting to know more about your business idea. All right, so this is an example of a particular cover page. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to go back to the slides now, and you can do this while you're at home, right? Download this workbook and create this. Create the cover page, and you could always feel free to contact me via Instagram, Facebook, or even LinkedIn to share any work that you've done. I'm open to share any sort of giving any sort of feedback. All right. Continue with the components is the executive summary. All right. The funny thing about the executive summary, however, it's at the front of your business plan, but it's the last thing you do in a business plan. Reason being, the information that goes into an executive summary is the information compiled throughout the entire business plan. So the executive summary is just a summary of your entire business plan. It's what really determines if the investor wants to read deeper into your business, if they want to understand how you plan to reach the market, the particular target audience to sell your product or service, if they want to understand if this business is investable, or is it feasible, is it viable, is it something that I want to put my money into, is it something that we could see possible returns as investors or partners as well, is it something I want to be associated with as a business partner. So the executive summary is just equally important. And the thing about the executive summary, I want to put all the good things in the executive summary, right? You would see part of your research, your market research would be to do a SWOT analysis. You wouldn't want to put your weaknesses in your executive summary, right? Would you go into an interview and share your weaknesses? I don't, they might ask you what sort of flaws you have, but you could always turn that around and say, well, my particular flaw might be presenting, but I think by working with this organization, I could get a whole wealth of exposure in presenting, which will help me build that skill. But as a business, you don't really want to share your weaknesses. You want them to see the good in your business and your idea. That is going to be a game changer, it's going to be profitable. All right. So we'll come back to your executive summary in future, but it's at the front of your business plan, but it's something that you do last in your business. Okay. So we're moving along. and we're going straight into your business background. So part of your assignment was to do a vision statement and a mission statement. All right, for those who weren't able to log on last week, all right, I'm going to touch quickly on that again. So remember, your vision statement is where you see yourself someday, and your mission statement would be the things that you do every day to reach your someday goal. So your vision really outlines what a company wants to be in the future. And some of you would have done your personal vision statements, and some of those statements that you shared last week were really, really aspirational. Even inspired me to change my my particular vision statement for myself. But the thing about your vision statement, you want it to be big, B-E-C, big. You want it to be big, exciting, and compelling. But you want that information to share throughout your organization and really create that organizational culture, that belief in your vision that you're sharing with the members of, with the team of your business. All right. And I have an example here from Starbucks. Last week we were sharing personal visions. Now I'm sharing business visions. So an example, and this is Starbucks vision statement: to establish Starbucks as the premier provider of the finest coffee in the world while maintaining our uncompromising principles while we grow. So that says where they want to be someday, as compared to their mission statement, which really outlines the steps that they're going to take towards their future vision. And it can be really simple. So an example of this would be to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. So those are the activities that they're going to do every day. If you go into Starbucks, they really have a culture of people and customer first. Just by having a cup with your name on it, you feel part of the experience, right? No matter whatever name you put, I've seen people put Beyonce, and the baristas, they're shouting Beyonce, Beyonce. And you know, it's part of the experience, and all the customers in Starbucks have to laugh. It's part of the Starbucks experience. You want to go back again. And these are the things that we want to do as entrepreneurs. We want to create experiences for our customers. We want them to come back again to the clients. All right. So it's one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. That really gives you the activities that Starbucks is about. Person, one cup, one neighborhood. All right. Next, let me just get this on full screen. Next, we have a slogan. So y'all are going to create your own business and mission statements as well. That'll be part of creating your business plans. And something that a lot of people add to their business are slogans. And these are things that help people remember a particular brand, a particular business, a particular logo as well. So a slogan is a short and striking, memorable phrase that really resonates with the consumer or the customer. So we have McDonald's, and we all know McDonald's. Ba, 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 I'm loving it. All right. We know Energizer. It keeps going and going. These are their slogans. So for McDonald's is I'm loving it. Energizer, it keeps going and going and going, right? Eastern Credit Union, leading the way. That was actually I hear it every morning on the way to work. So it's in my ebook set, it's in my mind. And these are things that help people remember particular brands and particular services. And these are the things that we want to do as entrepreneurs. We want to come up with really quick wins, like slogans to help people remember particular brands and services. And Red Bull. What's Red Bull? Red Bull gives you wings. If anybody knows any other particular slogans, feel free to unmute your mic or drop it in the chat. Let me hear from you all, right? We know a lot of them. We know Subway, Eat Fresh, KFC, Finger Licking Good. Anybody else? Drop some. Let me get question. Let me hear from you all. Any particular? Will I be able to copy this? Stag, a man's beer, correct? Yes, Stag. Like we have drinkers on here today. All right, dollar value, supermarket doing it for you. Yeah, Stag, a man's beer. Anybody else? Any other particular brand? I remember, but this one is not a slogan. It's is a jingle. So Subway had a jingle years ago. People said it was an annoying song, but it had a jingle that stuck with you. Ah, yes. So Pennywise jingle, everybody know that one, right? I think it goes like girls, yes, girls what? Shop at Pennywise. Cricks, the vital supply. Thank you, Miss Ferguson. All right, but Subway had their own. It was I love my Subway. I take the daddy there. Right? Boom biada, boom biada, boom biada. Right? So I remember that. Right? Just do it. Nike. Thank you, Sean. Yeah, Nike. Just do it. Republic Bank. We are the one for you. Right? Right? So you all are familiar, right? And you all understand why they create these slogans, because it helps you. Thing is, you have to live up to your slogan, yes. So because then it becomes a negative talking point. Correct. That's true. That's true. You have to live up to your slogan. Yeah. Royal Castle, flavor to the bone. Oh, you're taking me back there, Miss John. You're taking me back there. Anybody remember the soap powder ad from long ago, Susanna? No, we don't. I can't remember that one. But yeah, these slogans, you really want to take your slogan seriously. Want to live up to your brand, as Ms. Sanka said, and also it helps people remember you. All right. So thanks for those good. Moving along. Next, for your logo. So we have our mission statement, our vision statement, mission statement, slogan, now our logo. And this is something that a lot of people don't take into consideration. So I remember I gave you all Canva. So you could go on Canva and create your own logo. All right, so a logo is a graphic mark, emblem, or symbol used to aid and promote public identification and recognition. So we have something called our color psychology and font psychology. Take into consideration, and these things are very important that people don't take into consideration, the color of their logo, colors that they're using. So I'm going to give you a quick example. Banks use colors like green and blue because those things represent strength and represent growth. They also represent stability. All right. You wouldn't really see a bank or financial institution with something like pink. That's more feminine, flirtatious. You wouldn't really see that. All right. So for female brands, you would see stuff like pink, and so when you have your logo, you could use this color psychology to really create how you want people to feel when they see your logo, because all these things resonate with emotions and feelings. All right. So for red, it's passion, active, excitement. Pink, love, calm, respect. Purple, it's deep, creative, unconventional. Navy represents trust, sincerity, authenticity. Blue, balance. And then we have certain brands underneath that use these colors as well. All right. And let me just pick one. Green, BP, right? And BP deals with the environment, right? It deals with oil and gas. So it represents, of course, earth, growth, balance, positivity, nature. That was the right word I was looking for. It represents nature. All right. And of course, safety and stability, because they want to hold themselves accountable keeping the environment safe and their community and the organizations safe as well. Font psychology. Now we go into here. So font psychology is a little different, all right? You want to have a font represent your feelings, emotions, and associations as well. Traditional use certain types, all right? So what I'd like to see from you all, and I said you can message me on any particular platform, and I can give you feedback. Go to your Canva and create those business logos, and feel free to send it back to me, and I could give you all any sort of feedback on it. All right. So if you have a strong brand, you could use the Futura font, friendly brand, Cooper font. If your brand's about stability, we have that elegance, traditional. It's about understanding how to create your particular logo. All right, so let me get back to the handout so we could just see where we are on our handout. Good. So we have our vision statement, all right, our mission statement, our slogan, and then you could incorporate your logo into this point here. All right. Moving along to our other part of our business plan components would be our marketing, right, and research. Investors want to see that you've done some sort of research, and it's very simple to do research. Some people hate doing research. I really enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I like doing research and I like implementing the research, gathering statistics and stuff like that. But the marketing research is just about a funnel, right? And I came up with this diagram here called the market research funnel, and you could do this as an entrepreneur. I mean, these are the things that you need to learn that people go to school for over 4 years, because some people might have a whole degree in marketing research, but it's, in a sense, it's basically this, all right? Because they go a bit more deeper into it and they go through different ways to gather information. But as an entrepreneur, you just simply, you want to know what's going on in the international market, you want to know what's going on in the regional market, and you want to know what's going on in your local market as well. So in the international market, just identify the problems and the solutions. Analyze the international customer, gather any sort of statistics, charts, and the demographics of who use a particular product or service. So I'm going to give you all an example. Let's use Carnival, for example, all right? So Carnival, let's say we want to start Carnival in the international market, all right? Now we have a lot of West Indians abroad, so we have those persons as customers, as our international customers. We could gather from which countries the particular statistics belong to, the demographics on how we're going to be, and that will determine the type of music we're going to play. If we have more Jamaicans in a particular region, if we have more Trinidadians in a particular region, we know that we're going to play more dancehall than soca, or any other particular island, let's say St. Vincent, we're going to have some of their music. So these things help us determine how we're going to produce a particular product or service. All right. Carnival in our region, it's different from island to island. And again, it's all deemed by our demographics. And then in our local market, well, we have the best carnival in the world. We have the #1 show on earth. So it's just about understanding, like, what are the problems that we have for carnival here. And I saw some really good ideas. I saw this guy, Jules from Caesar's Army. He had a virtual reality carnival experience. You had to pay for a virtual goggles, and he created an entire experience that they could done anywhere in the world and even at home for during the pandemic. So these were some of the ways that people were thinking outside the box during COVID. Let me see if you have any questions. Anyone doing that? Does it have the booklet? Yes, the booklet is on the handout side of things. All right. So that's how you're going to do your marketing research. And it's very simple, again, to find research for your market. When you're doing the marketing research, use Google. Ask a friend some questions. Ask your family some questions. You really just want to understand where the market is at and how people interact with certain products or services. What are their point of view? And that way, you can help make decisions. But we're going to get into that when we're doing our P's of marketing, which is we're going to do that next week, right? P's of marketing for our business booklet. If you look in the handout on the booklet itself, there's a P's of marketing. We're going to look at the 4 P's of marketing: price, people, place, and promotion. Yeah, we're going to look at those 4 P's. So it would really help you to understand how to create a particular pricing strategy and how to price your product, where you could go for particular loans, everything like that. All right. So those are the 3 areas you want to look at when you're doing your marketing research. And to bring it home again, we did our SWOT analysis last week, and I just have some examples there as well. All right, so I'm going to allow persons, right, for them to share their business ideas, and I would just like to hear any particular strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats afterwards. All right, so I'm just going to run through quickly what your business SWOT analysis should look like. So your strengths would be describing what an organization excels at and what separates it from a competition. So a particular organization's strength might be that they have a strong brand. They might have loyal customers, a strong balance sheet, or unique technology to run their business. Some weaknesses. So weaknesses stop an organization from performing at its optimum level. They are areas where the business needs to improve and remain competitive. So you might just be opposite to your strengths. You might have a weak brand. You might have a higher than average turnover. People might be leaving your organization every single month. I think that happens at KFC. I had one experience at KFC some years ago while I was still a student at Roytech, and I was in the line ordering something, and one of the customers asked for ketchup, and the cashier asked the customer very loudly, "Wow, you don't have ketchup in your house?" So that could really affect your brand, your business brand, right? And everybody in line was like, "Oh no, this person did not just say that." All right, so just watch out for that. All right. High levels of debt might be a weakness, and inadequate supply chain or lack of capital might be some of the weaknesses. All right. Opportunities refer to favorable external factors that could give an organization a competitive advantage. An example of this might be a country cutting tariffs or changing its particular tariffs. Those would be like a trade laws and stuff, right? Being able to export products or services into a new market. These are opportunities that you might gain as an entrepreneur, or trends in increasing sales and market shares, particular product or service. These are opportunities to help your business grow. Threats, again, are external, things that are not in your control. Threats refer to factors that have the potential to harm an organization. This might be a drought is a threat to wheat producing companies as it may destroy or reduce the crop yield. And next one might be raising costs of material. That's not in your control. but material might go up in price, which will affect your business operations. Increasing competition might be a threat. People might say, "Ooh, during the pandemic, let's all start a delivery business because nobody could leave the house and everybody needed groceries and the food. So we're going to start a courier company to take these things to people's homes." All right. So it could increase competition, right? And people might come up with different prices that might make them be more competitive than others. All these things we need to look at as entrepreneurs. And next one might be a tight labor supply. So I'm going to give you all an opportunity to either list a strength or weakness. First, tell me who you are, unmute your mic, or you could use the chat box. I would like to hear from you, so I would like you to unmute your mic. Tell me your name, what's your business, if you have a business idea. Tell me a particular strength, weakness, or opportunity or threat of your business. All right? So the floor is open to anybody.
Hey, Mr. Francis,
Yes.
just before you go, well, as we just make up a little time before someone asks a question, we have a question here from Ms. Sanka, who is asking if an unpredictable supply chain due to COVID, could that be a threat?
Yes, definitely. That is definitely a threat because it's not in your control. COVID was in none of our controls, right? So that is an external factor that is out of our control. So yes, an unpredictable supply chain due to COVID can be a threat. Yes, it can. Yeah. The thing about COVID, it forced a lot of people to fall back in business as well, but it forced a lot of people to be innovative and creative as well in terms of how they deliver their products and services. A lot of people had to up their games. Even myself, I had to create a website for my particular business as well. All right. So yes, definitely COVID is a threat, was an external factor beyond our control that harmed and held back business growth and activity. Thank you for your question, Ms. Sanka.
And I'm not seeing any more questions. Hi. So we have okay, Andrea Hiles, is it? I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Behind the veil drapery, weakness marketing, business strength, loyal customer.
All right, so I understand what she's saying there. Her weakness is marketing of her business, and her strength is loyal customers.
Yeah.
So the good thing is that, yeah, the good thing is that you have these loyal customers. That's really good. In order for you to expand your reach, I would tell you to get on social media. That is such an underrated tool. Yeah. Start to promote your business on like you're going crazy, at least 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. So it will always be on the top of everybody's timeline. Try to hit some boosts so people would see it unexpectedly as they're scrolling. Even use your story as well. Reason you want to incorporate your story is because your story lasts 24 hours. So as people are scrolling through your stories, they're going to see you constantly putting up content, and even share your knowledge as well. One thing about people, they think about sharing their knowledge as a way of they don't want to share it because it costs, right? It's just sharing knowledge, they don't want to share. But sharing actually brings customers, I realize. Being able to share what you know for free, it brings customers to you because people now want to know exactly, well, how are you doing this? How are you doing this drapery movement? Oh, this looks good. Could you do it for me? And that's how you build. That's how you market your business online. Use online to the best of your ability. All right. I saw
We have yeah, I was now going to tell him Mr. Span. Sorry about that. Go right ahead, Mr. Francis.
Barbecue and catering strength, great tasting food, weakness, competitive market. I think with any food, once it's really tasting well, you would always have that clientele. Any restaurant is as good as its chef. I could tell when a restaurant changes its chef. If I go and I know I'm pretty boring, so I order the same meals every time I go out, whichever restaurants I go to. So I know how the food's supposed to taste, and if it tastes different, then I know the change the chef. So the greatest in food, keep capitalizing on that and keep sharing that and have your customers give testimonies. Yeah. Anything else? Lack of capital. So you're in the right place. Lack of capital. Create a business plan. I've seen really innovative ideas with barbecuing. Catering and barbecuing has done really well. And I've seen financial institutions inject and given loans to those businesses for those simple ideas. And if you could show them your track record, because if you're saying that you have really great taste in food, then you should have customers behind there. All right. So share that information. Do up a really good business plans. Come to our next session. Even reach out to me. Take what we've learned from this session, build our business plan, and take it towards a financial institution and all those other incentives that help entrepreneurs, maybe public sector or private sector. Anybody else want to contribute? All right. And let me see. And that's the end of today's session. All right. Let me just turn back to the handout really quickly and show you what we covered today. Good. All right. And what you could do for yourself as an entrepreneur, you can start compiling your information. All right. So your business background, as well as your marketing and your SWOT analysis. What we'll get into next time is our P's of marketing. And you can take time to do this activity. So next week we just press and we get into our competitive, right? Our unique selling proposition value canvas. How can we create? How can we become more competitive than our competitors? How can we stand out in a market that is already competitive? Because Tom, Dick, Harry, everybody have similar business idea, but those who are unique in how they bring across their business, those who are making all the profits. Okay. So
okay, Mr. Francis, we have some comments coming in here. Comment here. Great session, clear examples, easy to understand, interesting examples, and smooth flow. So thank you very much, Ms. Calise, for that. We also have from Mr. Rule I'm seeing here. What would you say about business registration? If I like to start a business, should I register as a sole trader, a partnership, or a company?
Right. So it's all where you want to see yourself in the future and what you could do right now. Okay. So I'm going to give you the differences, and we would have actually gotten to that at the appendix, right? Attaching your business registration certificate, and we would have gotten to the different types of business registrations. But as a sole trader, it's you alone. You're taking all the risk, all the responsibilities on your own. You would have to put your own money into your business. As a partnership as well, you're doing it as a partner, so you're sharing the rule in terms of injections and even profits. As a company, however, limited liability, you would be separate from your company. All right, so it's all where you want to take your business. As well as a company, there are certain taxation laws when your business, I think it makes up over $72,000 per year, then you are required to file certain taxes. As a small business owner, sole proprietorship and a partnership, those things don't apply. Okay. So it's all where you want to take your business in the future, and where you see your business going in the future. So for me, I have a small youth consulting business. I registered as a limited liability because I eventually wanted to grow into something else in the future. All right. But let's say you have a small boutique, you can keep it as a sole proprietor or partnership. Yeah, but we will definitely get into that when we go into, I'll give you all the pros and cons when we go into that aspect of the appendix business registration certificates. Okay. With this,
Okay, Mr. Rotelski understands exactly what you're saying. Clearing that up.
Send to us via email. Yes, it would be on the slides would definitely be back on this on the handouts for next week, so you could definitely download it.
Okay, I'm seeing here from Marsha, as a first-time business owner, what is the maximum on loans I can acquire?
That I can't say. There are different requirements, and the financial institutions would actually, based on your business plan, they would then determine how much that they're willing to invest. I cannot say I can't say from this how an exact figure, but there are different types. So if you want to apply for $25,000 loan, $100,000 loan, I think there are some banks and financial institutions that go up to even $250,000 loan. I think Marshall Montano with his chocolates got that type of injection into his business. It all comes down to the presentation of your business. And let me tell you something, investors buy into you first. So come with that good energy, come with that good spirit, and present your business. So it's not investors buy into the person first, not necessarily the business first, right? So you come with that good energy, Mr. Philbert. Yeah. So it all depends on you and the financial institution, right? But there are $25,000 loans. You have the research, $100,000 loans, $250,000 loans as well, right?
Yep.
Most entrepreneurs find finance hard to acquire. Yes, even with a business plan. But a great business plan does help. Yes. Yes. A great business plan definitely helps. I know entrepreneurs. I lecture at White Up, and some of my students, some guys from Laventil, they had a fish delivering business. They got most innovative idea when they presented their idea, and they got injections into their business because they showed how it was going to impact their community. A lot of people liked fish in the community. They were the only suppliers, and they were delivering directly to households. So, and they had a really good business plan. And they were very likable as well. They believed in their business, and they were able to share. Do you need to do a cash flow projection together with a business? Yes, it's necessary. All right. So investors want to know exactly how much money you foresee your business making in the future. All right. So they want to know, is this going to be a business worthy to invest? They want to show figures at the end of the day. Yeah. And how much money you think your business can make monthly, and how much money, what will be your annual returns for your particular investment. So yes, cash flow projections is necessary to provide with your business plan. Very, very important.
All right. I'm not seeing any more questions. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the second session of the second installment of the Power Up webinar series brought to you by Eastern Credit Union. It was indeed a pleasure having you spend the time with us this afternoon. Of course, to Mr. Francis, thank you for sharing your knowledge, your expertise, and also highlighting your singing capabilities with the slogans. You brought us back there with that. So thank you very much for that. I like the delivery or the approach that you take with these. It's not very shirt and tie. It's more jersey and jeans. It's very relatable. I feel as if I'm talking to a friend and you're just offering me advice. So I like the delivery. And I have seen from the comments coming in here, a lot of people appreciate that approach. So thank you very much for that. Feel free, participants, to tell your friends about this webinar. And you can also direct them to Eastern Credit Union social media platforms where they will be able to sign up for the next session carded for next week, Thursday, the 22nd. We normally have the link up on the Wednesday just before the session because, of course, there are limited spaces available. Start working on your business plan as shown by Mr. Francis. It's never too late to get started. Canva. I too, Mr. Francis, believe in Canva is really a great tool. Just a gentle reminder. Let me just see this comment here. Yes, tea is the real thing like Coca-Cola. So I guess that's for you, Mr. Francis. Excellent presentation. Thank you for the knowledge. All right. And yes, I use Canva as well. So again, good feedback coming your way again, Mr. Francis. Just a gentle reminder to all that the workbooks and everything that Mr. Francis is alluding to is available in the handout section, which is right next to the question pane or right on the question pane on the control panel to the right. As always, I would like to encourage you all to continue to be safe. Please wear your mask, sanitize as often as possible, and continue to follow the guidelines as provided by the Ministry of Health. Let's all do our part to stop the spread of COVID-19. Thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of Mr. Francis, my name is Jamal Lewis, wishing you a fantastic evening. Goodbye.
All right.